Hamlin and Larson making up the front row. Round two's underway.
Outside lane was a good decision. Denny Hamlin was able to clear turn one, a simple turns 1 and 2. Yesterday we saw a wreck in the first corner, so I was holding my breath a little bit. You see Kevin Harvick in the 4 battle back. That's what makes this track so much fun, inside and outside grooves.
Kevin's got to make that position and clear that 42. After a few more corners, that bottom starts to come through, and there you see it, the 42 of Larson be able to take that spot back. The 24 back there behind him, battling on the outside of Martin Truex Jr. He also needs to clear quickly before this bottom groove starts moving forward.
Rick, we talk about speed. These speeds
Oh,
are...
the 4-car loses the nose.
He is up a whole lane. The 19's going to attack. I have been at this racetrack for 2.5 decades, and looking out the window, they look faster, breathtaking through the middle of the corner.
So the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. able to take advantage of the 4 drifting back. That was a block on William Byron. He had nowhere to go, so he falls in behind the 4.
And the 4 loose again into the corner. Car looks pretty loose, Marty.
But making some progress early on. He gets by the 4 cars, Kevin Harvick. But for the second week in a row, they've had radio issues on the 19 before the race even started. Check it out before the race started.
Yeah, that was pretty bad right there. Yeah, I was saying before, Clayton, I couldn't hear you at all.
They went to the backup channel, and as I mentioned, Steve, second week in a row this has happened to the 19 team. You got to get your driver focused and get it out of his mind, especially at a place like Dover where you don't need distractions.
You don't need distractions anywhere, but everything happens so fast. This is Bristol on steroids. They look alike, it's just twice the size.
And I know drivers, I talked with Matt DiBenedetto, he was saying, you know, you're right on the edge on this racetrack, and sometimes I forget to breathe. That's 21 to 22 second laps, and you're forgetting to breathe around this racetrack.
On the helmet came with Chase Elliott. Dale Jr. take us through here. I know this is exiting turn 2. We're going to go down the back straightaway. The roughest part of the racetrack, entering turn 3 over those bumps.
Yeah, down the back straightaway into this corner. Very bumpy, like railroad tracks. Driving over railroad tracks into that corner. That's kind of what it feels like. You see the 10 car, Eric Almirola ahead of him, doing a little bit of a diamond, actually letting that car drift up in the middle of the corner. Chase a little bit lower through the middle of the corner, trying to get some clean air on the nose. Actually goes up the racetrack here, chasing the back of the car. Looking, chasing the back of the car, turning right, correcting that car. Very loose right there in the corner.
Well, you mentioned loose. That's what we've seen really from the start out of this 9 car right here. Look at this correction right here. Some wheel in it, wheel in it. Watch this big turn to the right. Wow, whoa, you heard the tires squeal.
Oh, and an issue with the 9. He's slow on the front stretch.
I think he said quit running. We see no RPM, RPM 0.
Blew up.
Caution is for debris. Kelly, what's going on?
Unbelievable. You just heard it there from Chase. He said, I think I'm blowing up. And then sure enough, he said, I just blew up. And this crew has obviously sprung into action here. But handful of laps now, and 2 of our playoff drivers already with trouble early here at Dover. This is crazy.
Look at this 88 48 battling. The 88 having trouble trying to get by this lap traffic. I've been watching the lap times for the 88 of Bowman and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. They are trading off running the best laps of any other car on the racetrack. 2 cars with great speed. They just needed a little more track position to have a shot at winning this race.
One thing that this is helping Denny Hamlin, I know he wants to lap Clint Boyer. He's led this entire race. What he hasn't been able to do is get himself in a situation where he has to pass a good car. So Denny Hamlin has an opportunity to learn. Why can't I pass this 14? What does it need to do better? That could serve him well moving forward. Sometimes, Steve, you lead all the laps and you run out front, it actually hurts you because you're not learning.
Yeah, it's hard to adjust a car that's led 110 laps, and that's basically where Denny Hamlin is. Clint Boyer has a little bit 2 issues. One, he's trying to stay ahead of the 11, and if he's fortunate enough to do that, all's well. If he's not, he has to stay in front of the 95, who's behind Denny Hamlin. Matt DiBenedetto has closed in on the rear bumper of that yellow number car there on the bottom of the racetrack. So this is going to be a very important 2 miles here to finish stage 1.
I think the problem for Clint is he can't go to the high side to try to create a run around that 10 because that opens the door for the 11. 11 to go right by him there. So he's got to stay low right in the tracks of his teammate.
And it's worked, right? It's worked. I mean, this has worked. He tried one time to jump on the outside of 10. It cost him about 3 to 4 tenths of a second when he did it. So now he's just taking the air from the 11. It's worked. The 11 has not been able to gain on him, so just keep doing the same thing.
It's a milestone weekend here at the Monster Mile. The 100th Cup race in the 50th anniversary, and also a milestone weekend for Denny Hamlin. It's been perfect so far. He had the fastest car in qualifying, setting a track record. He's led 111 laps already in the first stage, and he's going to win stage number 1 in his 500th start. Martin Truex Jr., a close second, and it's Kyle Larson, William Byron, Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, right now running in that 10th position. And so points being given out in stage 1, and the most you can gain in the end of a stage is 10. Denny got him. It's heating up once again. Now Martin Truex Jr. has closed the gap. The 11 of Denny Hamlin under fire. Martin Truex Jr. to the high side. Is he going to make the pass down the backstretch?
He's there. The 22 was a little bit of trouble for the 11 car, creating some aerodynamic trouble in that bottom groove, and Truex was right there to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's not happy right now with the 22. I'm sure the 22 multiple laps down. But Martin Truex Jr. doing a great job of staying in this fight, jumping to the outside. Now Denny Hamlin trying the outside.
Well, now Truex has the same issue that the 11 had. The 22 and the 21 in front of him, holding up the 19. He has to be careful. He wants to run the bottom, but if he gets in that dirty air you talked about, the 42 or the 11 will be there to attack with only 11 to go.
Absolutely. Give that 11 car, Denny Hamlin, just a few corners to figure out that top, and he's right there to the back of the 19 car, Truex. Truex has to be ready and be defensive. The 42 rolling the bottom pretty good there, battling Denny for second.
I saw that replay right there. Denny Hamlin is not going to be happy with Joey Logano. Here's a live shot now. The 19 underneath Logano. What Denny's saying is, hey, man, race him like you raced me. There he goes.
Wow.
Logano did it.
Denny will have a great run here. What will he do with it?
Really close there for Martin Truex Jr. as he was under the 22 and had to check up.
And you see
Here
Truex
comes the
running
42. Kyle Larson coming up, trying to challenge for the lead.
Kyle's car is working on the bottom. As these guys go to the high side trying to get air, Kyle is rolling that bottom really, really good.
The 19 loses the car in the wake of the 22.
Now Martin Truex Jr. again on go, trying to get by the 22, but here comes Kyle Larson.
And that 22 is 24 laps down, Rick, when you talk about the frustration.
Yeah, they're going to be lined up trying to figure out who's going to be the most mad at Joey Logano.
Now the 22 goes to the top, trying to figure out a way.
42 got way loose on corner entry when he tried to run the top. The 4 car's gotten by the 11.
Yeah,
We're trying to get by
here.
Denny Hamlin falling back. Now, right in the sights of the 4 of Kevin
Truex
Harvick.
finally gets to the outside of this 22 car.
With momentum, will he have enough to cross over? Will the 22 let him have the bottom of the racetrack?
Here comes Paul Menard, though. He might also get involved here as the 42 goes really high.
Paul Menard's on the lead lap, trying to stay on it.
Oh, there's a
Look,
little contact.
And now the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. has cleared the 21. The 42 of Kyle Larson now fighting on the bottom of the track.
How about Joey Logano jump on the outside of 21?
Yeah, you don't care how many laps down he is.
Oh, man, he is not making any friends right now. I just don't think that's smart. It's a long playoffs, man. I don't know why you want to make your competitors mad being this many laps down. Not smart play, in my opinion, by Logano.
Here comes Hamlin one more time. He's going to challenge the 42 for second.
Yeah, the 42's having trouble here trying to get around these guys. It's going to create an opportunity for Hamlin to go around the outside. Whoa, then he almost got squeezed in the wall by the 21 of Menard there.
Menard not sure where to go. He's got the 42 on the inside, the 11 on the outside, and here comes the 4 of Harvick as well. Hamlin makes the pass on the 21. Now, he's trying to get to the back bumper of the 42. He goes high.
Man, he did. He drove in there on the back bumper of that 42 car.
And under 4 laps to go.
Truex Jr. has driven away. This battle right back here has been a huge advantage to Truex. He was able to pick himself through it. Look at that. Logano running right with him.
Logano doesn't want to leave him. 42 now separating himself from the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Under 3 laps to go.
These guys are all racing for playoff points. Every position is a point. We say it over and over, but it means the most here in these playoffs.
Two to go for Martin Truex Jr. in stage 2. Pit road is closed. And that was just conveyed to Joey Logano, or at least a driver wants it conveyed. So Martin Truex Jr. out in front of Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Jimmy Johnson, still a part of the top 5. Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Blaney, Keselowski, Boyer all looking to gain some stage points.
And this is the question mark about the 11. He's led 218 laps. He's lost control of the race. Adjustment time, right, Rick? Coming to the end of the stage, he's got to work on his race car.
One thing he has an advantage is he has that #1 pit stall, but it's the win of stage 2 for Martin Truex Jr. It's only 2.8 seconds now, the gap between Larson and Truex Jr.
And listen, in front of the 42, there are some cars. I'm not sure if they'll come into play, but we saw earlier in 3 or 4 laps, a big chunk of time. So if you're Kyle Larson, you just want everybody to run the lane you think they're going to run. Stay out of your way. If you're the 19, you're hoping somebody holds him up for a couple.
Well, you're hoping that everybody gets out of your way, too, so that you can close that gap. He had a little bit of trouble there with Ty Dillon as well as Ryan Preece. There's the gap between 1 and 2 now. 7 laps to go at Dover.
He's chopped it back down to 3 seconds. Pretty impressive to see the speed in that 19 car, but just, I don't know, it's just not enough. Larson's doing a great job of managing that speed in that car and getting around this lap traffic.
Kyle Larson has always been good at this racetrack. 2 times already he has finished second, but never has been to victory lane here at the Monster Mile.
He does have a lot of traffic here in front of him.
Well, Kyle was concerned about his car. He said, hey, I know it looks good on paper, Jeff, you mentioned this, but I don't think it's going to be that good on the long run. Well, here we are, back-to-back long runs, and he's been able to hold the lead. I think this 42 was either a little better than he thought, or he's just doing a great job of working around the racetrack. Here we go, though, Rick. This is that traffic. The 21 is in front of him with 5 to go. Will that be enough for the 19 to make an attack?
How difficult will Paul Menard make it?
It ain't gonna have that lap. No time gain. Truex caught 2 lap cars side by side off of turn 4. Cost him a lot of time there.
Yeah, the 21 car Paul Menard, even though he's not as fast as the 42, he's not drastically slower. So even if he holds him up a little bit, it's not gonna be enough.
4 laps to go.
Truex has to have a major problem for the 42 going to catch him.
Yeah, you see Menard get out of the way. He's been there before.
Now, 8 cars on the lead lap. Jimmy Johnson, the last car on the lead lap, running in the 8th position. Past the start-finish line. 3 laps to go at Dover. It's been 75 races since Kyle Larson was able to celebrate a win.
2.5 miles for the golden ticket. Automatic advancement. Pressure off. Heading to Talladega.
And the golden trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Miles the Monster Gold on this 50th anniversary. Now 2 miles to go.
He's one of those drivers I felt like had to step up, separate himself from those other guys at the bottom of the list. He's going to do that today if he can get to this checkered flag.
Fighting now to get to the white flag. Out of 4. They'll show him the white flag. 1 lap to go.
Bring it out of home. He'll never get to you.
Kyle Larson, the 27-year-old from Elk Grove, California. Throughout the season, it looked like Kurt Busch was the leading driver for Chip Ganassi Racing. Well, it's going to be Kyle Larson who's going to give Chip Ganassi Racing their first run into the next round, the furthest they've ever gone. Larson wins at the Monster Mile.
And how critical was this win for the 42 team, Kyle?
It's really critical. You know, everybody in this playoff field is going to be stressing next week at Talladega except for me, so that's good. You know, that's last time I was at Talladega, I was on my lid, and I mean, I could still end up on my lid next week, but it's not going to matter, you know, after this win. So what a day. This Clover Chevy was really good. You know, after the first stage, I kind of changed my driving style up, and I felt like we made the car better at the same time, and it really benefited our long run. So that's as good as I've ever been around, you know, cutting the bottom here. So just a great combination here. Good to be fast in practice and then be good again, or good in the race and get the win. So can't thank all you fans enough for coming out. This cool weather was nice for a change. this is unbelievable. I've always wanted to win a Cup race here. I've been close a number of times, so to get a golden monster is going to be pretty sweet.